I mean, is this thing on? Welcome to Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast, where we always get comfortable being uncomfortable and no topic is ever off limits. A weekly dose of this thing we call life. And, well, if it's about my life, we always make it a double. It's a new level of maturity, confidence, and love. Now let's talk about it. We don't know how to. I can't.
Okay.
I'm gonna need Jesus to get me through this one. But
Please.
listen, welcome back, guys, to another week and another episode on Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all just heard the new intro to this show, okay, which is going to be a surprise for the whole world, including my guest, because even though he is here recording with me, he's going to hear when he hears it, because there is the new intro. As I've been saying it is a new level of maturity, confidence, and love. So it has a cute little twist to it. And it was just time. It was just time to revamp the shits. You know, it was time to give it the new look, the new sound. So I hope everybody loves it. We'll still hit off a little bit of the old school Double Dose tune, you know, in between some shows and whatnot. But it's giving it was time for the revamp. So, ladies and gentlemen, exciting episode today because we have it's a returning guest, but it's like the comeback with this returning guest. It's like giving double the dose, right? It's giving, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you know, sometimes not sometimes, in the past, I would say, oh, you know, would my guests please introduce themselves? This guest really doesn't need any introduction. But if you're new here, okay, I mean, we're going to give you the introduction, but then also I'm going to need you to spit some fire real quick and say all them credentials of what you've been up to, because it's been that much of a while, but I think it's only fair that, you know, you serve several doses here to the audience. So if you could please just give us the tea of who we are and what we're doing.
Wow. Well, that was a hell of an intro, but not really an intro. So I love that for me.
That's right.
If you don't know, my name is Court with 2 T's, keeping it Court on Instagram. If you don't know, I am a lot of things. I am a podcast host. I host a podcast called RCC Pod, which is Record Confidential, with my best friend and co-host Rima. I am a producer on some of your favorite shows that you may not even know that I am behind.
Ew.
You know, I work for Ideas to Launch. I am a pop culture savant, a shit talker, professional resident gay. You know, it's just all the things.
Yes.
And I am your girlfriend's best friend, confidant, and I'm always pushing the gay agenda because, you know, why the fuck not?
Hello. And we're gonna take that agenda over here too, all day, every day. We're not gonna, because it is what it is. That's the type of shit we're serving over here. I love that Court is back on the mic with me, because yes. Court been on the mic, but with your favorite host, Misty.
Yes.
It's been a long time coming, and you know, we've been talking a lot.
Yes, we are actually friends.
Yes, we are. We are friends.
And the kind of friends that you're like real friends, where it's like we don't have to talk every day, but when we talk, we talk.
Let me just say this without giving too much, you know, because I don't incriminate nobody, okay? And I'm not ready to be telling all my business. But what was it, like a month ago? Like 3 weeks ago?
Oh, like a month and maybe a half ago. But before you even talk, when you listen to our new episode, I said some things, Raymond bleeped it out, but I didn't incriminate you. she cut it out. I said, very good.
Listen, your show is your show. It is what it is.
I was like, oh shit.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care. But on my show is different, you know, because these men be trying to listen.
I said, bleep that out.
Bleep.
Didn't mean to say that. So when you hear it, you're going to be like,
I already know. And that is what you call friendship, okay? I just need y'all to know, because that's what you call friendship. So about a month and a half ago, Misty was going through some shit, okay? And I just turned into like a quick call, just turned into a whole 3 hours of a conversation. I needed court so bad. It was like, and okay, let's just take a back. It is very few times a man hears me cry. Y'all, the way a bitch just broke down crying, and Court was like, it's okay, D, just let it out. And a bitch let it out. And so I just need y'all to understand that besides all that Court is credentials wise and in these podcasting streets, there's a true friendship here. There's a real friendship. And so I'm forever grateful for that friendship, because I don't want to be that person, that woman that just be texting paragraphs and shit and going the fuck off. And so Court really like got me off the ledge that day.
No,
And
for
so,
sure.
for sure. For sure. And I've been navigating things to the
Okay.
best of my abilities,
Okay.
Since then, but it is what it is. Here we are.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Love that. I love that for you.
Thank you. I love you. All right. So we're going to hit this off. There's definitely going to be the intros to the new segment. There's a new segment, well, revamped name segment, I should say. Okay. But we're gonna hit this right off because we have a lot of shit to say. All right, so newly revamped segment. I'm not even gonna bring up what it used to be called because it doesn't make any sense or difference. But we are going to kick it off with, from now on, keeping it real, because before we could keep it all the way raw, we have to keep it real. Okay. And so this is going to be a segment where we take that first dose of rawness. So it's giving like when you get to the bar and you take that very first shot. Okay. It's the first one. Yep. Takes a sip because there's definitely some liquor up in this.
It looks like water, but I promise you it's not.
It's not. We ain't shit. Okay. So I want to take it all the way back to a theme that we used to have on the show. And I always just say we're going to talk about relationships and relationships. And today is going to be with the shits for sure. Okay. We already know that thanks to social media, thanks to all these websites and all that good stuff, we always have all the inside scoop on all these celebrity relationships. And oftentimes, a lot of us are idolizing it, right?
Right.
I've definitely been one of those people that I've definitely been one to idolize relationships. And from that definitely came this idea that, why are we doing this? Like, why are we even going there?
Right.
Recently, we've dealt with witnessing in specific cultures, right? The hip hop culture, a demise of what everybody believed to be like black love, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Remy and Papoose. Okay. For those of you who don't know, Google that shit. It's been scandalous, okay? Scandalous, like infidelities, cheating accusations about parenting, all the whole 9 yards, right? Mm-hmm. We've recently seen in the news, well, social media platforms, Allison Holker. Am I saying her name correctly? Allison Holker?
It sounds correct. I Googled it because I know who she is, but I don't know who she is.
So she is she's white.
I didn't want to say I was just
no, she's a white woman. She's a white woman. I'm saying, is she a white woman? Okay. She's a white woman, guys.
She was black by penetration. Never mind. Let's not go. Let's not go there. Sorry. Nope. I'm not gonna say that on the mic.
Okay. So I meant I could understand. So Allison Holker was married to the late Stephen Twitch Boss.
Yes.
Okay. Very much so known in Hollywood. Shout out to Hollywood right now, LA, with all the fires that are going on over there. Real quick, little sidetrack on that. Not shout out in the sense of, hey, but shout out as in everybody who's fighting to keep all of LA safe. Yeah, and just everyone out there. It's breaking my heart.
Yes.
But Stephen Twitch Boss was very much so known in Hollywood. And again, Google his name to fully understand what's going on right now. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I know that when we're idolizing these couples and we idolize all this love that we're seeing on social media, and then the shit hits the fan, it's kind of like, holy fuck, right? In the case of Allison and Stephen, I want to be able to highlight the concept of whatever happened to till death do us part. Reason being, he did commit suicide. Okay. And so, discretion on this topic right now, and just trigger warning for anybody, but he did commit suicide. And recently, she has disclosed that she wrote a book to talk about her story with him and how she didn't know what was going on with him and all these allegations of addiction and whatnot. When this happened, a lot of people came out like, hold up a fucking second. Like, who the F do you think you are? His family, friends, like a lot of people have come in his defense of his memory alone, basically calling her out for even monetizing off of this shit and for putting out there all this business and not letting him rest in peace or even respecting the privacy, right? The reason why I want to talk about this is because, do we take it till death do us part, even our darkest secrets, right? I know we all have a story to tell. Shit, I have had stories to tell here, and I don't. While I don't incriminate, and at most I will give a nickname. Sometimes we think about, is there such thing as discretion?
Okay.
Is there such thing as respecting the privacy of people? Right? Does the other party want the story to be out there? And then when we think about tough situations like infidelities or death, sudden death, do we even think about empathy kicking in, right? I want to bring this to the table for discussion
Mm-hmm.
because the tea got piping hot when we found out that apparently Allison made people sign NDAs, including Twitch's mom, at the funeral. And so I kind of want to get your take on this a little bit because it's a little conflicting. We have a platform. We
Yes.
share our
Yes.
stories, and
Mm-hmm.
while we may not be famous in Hollywood, we're famous here.
Okay.
And I always say I'm an expert in my experiences, but what is TMI? TMI. I want to dive into that with you.
Oh, so what is TMI? When is TMI? TMI? That's a tricky like balancing act because
Mm-hmm.
technically it is her experience. So
Mm-hmm.
you cannot take away somebody's experience. It's their story. It's their truth. Now, how I look at it is, it just it came off as insensitive to
Mm-hmm.
he recently, like, how long was he going for? Maybe a year or two
Year?
possibly.
Maybe. Yeah.
And it's because it was, because how can I say this? I'm trying to be sensitive because because he did commit suicide, it's
Mm-hmm.
still a touchy subject. And I feel like when it is your person, you take vows and it's no to depth to us part, you are supposed to protect them at all costs. That's just how I look at it. But if I experience something at the hands of my partner that may have not been public knowledge, I don't know if I would be sharing that
Mm-hmm.
on, like, in reference to, like, in a book. But again, it is her experience, so technically, not for nothing, because you're my friend. Since I came onto the space of podcasting, nobody knew I was even with anybody. I was with a man
Right.
for a decade and some change.
Mm-hmm.
We're no longer together, but
Mm-hmm.
it certain things I share, and
Mm-hmm.
he's living, so I can say, hey, I shared this, but he kind of knows that, like, I don't really care because it's my
Mm-hmm.
experience, and you cannot take away my choice to share what I experience, and it's from my point of view. So I kind of feel like TMI, like, we don't need to know the ins and outs, but I kind of feel like when you're writing headlines for blogs or like TV or whatever, they're going to sensationalize it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't really know how she disclosed the allegations of like substance abuse. We don't know if if she's like, oh, he was just wilding out. Like, we don't know, where she's just giving excerpts, or how do we say that word? As excerpts of the book.
X X
Yeah, I think tequila. Sorry, let's just say,
vodka.
wow, clear clear liquids. She's giving she's trying to sell a book. So
Mm-hmm.
technically, I don't know what she did outside of being his wife, and I'm not trying to take away a woman's, experience to kind of like tie her to a man. But of course, she's going to talk about her famous husband, who was on the Ellen show for so many years, and who we know from I think So You Think You Can Dance. He was like a dancer. I think maybe so
Mm-hmm.
was she. So she's going to tie in. That was her husband. She has kids with him. So I'm pretty sure it's not anything that was going to make him look like less than what he was.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know because we don't have the full book. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
not really like we can judge from afar, but we don't know your story, and everybody has an opinion because this is how the world kind of revolves around stories, and social media and how pop culture is the thing. But literally, if that's her experience, I can't say she's lying because I
Yeah.
wasn't there. I wasn't there. So TMI, I guess it's subjective technically. Like, who are you to? Is it too much or is it too little?
Right, right. It is interesting because I was just talking to someone today, and this person just is learning today that, well, in the past week, that I'm back to podcasting. So they knew there was a podcast, but they're learning now that I'm back to podcasting. What was
Okay.
interesting is, about, I think it was last week, we were talking, and he said, "Oh, you could. I mean, I don't care. You could talk about me on the podcast or whatever, right?"
Mm-mm.
Right. And so it's like, it's so easy to say that, right? Because, you know, are you really open to whatever it is I have to say? I think back on some of the episodes I've released, and listen, there's a plenty full of episodes here talking my shit and telling my stories, right? And then it's like, sometimes I think about it, and it's like, do I really need people listening to all these wild ass stories, or all
Yeah.
these out of pocket shits that I've said and have shared here? Should I remove it? Should I not? I mean, it's still true to who I am. It's still true to who I was then and who I am today, right?
Hmm.
But at the same token, it's like, where is it that I draw the line? Here, I'm definitely shared that too. You know, 9 times out of 10, my son knows everything that I've shared. My son knows everything, because I've just never known when will be the date that somebody might come across this platform on this page and be like, yo, that's your mom. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it could be a bit challenging and a bit intimidating, or even just conflicting for a kid to say, yeah, that's my mom. Yeah, she did
Right.
say that wild that shit. You know what I mean? Or even, let's take it back to something that I've shared here in the past, and I'll share it again. The day I had to make the decision to share certain experiences on the deposition for my divorce, knowing that someday my son might see that and have to understand a lot of the background of how it came to the end of a relationship,
Right.
right? So I think about that a lot. And then it brought me back to thinking on other relationships that I'm aware of, that not maybe everyone knows, but I am. And so it ties in. I also picked on Jen and Ben, Benifer, whatever the fuck we're gonna call them.
Uh,
What is this number? What husband number? I can't keep track.
well, technically, it's like maybe her. Well, she's a forever fiance, so she forever fiance, but never. So she,
Yeah.
so she made this might be like husband number three, because she
Three.
did because she did
Mhm.
marry Mark, and then she
She had
circled,
Ohani, Mark,
and then she
and
circled,
Penn.
so three, I think
Yeah.
three,
Yeah, I think so too. Okay.
yeah,
The reason why I brought her up is because I remember when her and Mark broke up, there was a whole show she did about her life. It showed her just so unhappy, just so emotional, going through so many things. And then there was a release of a book. And I recall a lot of people did criticize the fact that she shared a lot of insight on what happened to their relationship. And there had always been a lot of rumors about Mark Anthony himself.
hmm.
So let me just make a disclaimer. I am a diehard fan of Mark Anthony. I have seen that man perform live countless times.
Okay, and he
And
sings, he sings.
he sings high and all. He sings because he's always high with his shades on,
Oh,
allegedly.
oh, all right,
Because I'm not
yeah,
up
yeah,
close,
yeah.
but it's
So
giving that's what's going on.
it appears that way.
It appears, right? Okay. And listen, whatever gets him to perform his best, I'm no judgments. What's that trend they say? We listen, but we don't judge. Okay, there we go.
I'm
I'm just
well.
saying.
Some of the shit I be silently judging, but I understand, overstand. You feel me?
Okay,
Okay.
I feel you. The reason why I bring this up is because now Jennifer is going through another divorce with Ben. And let's just put it out there, because she's been in the public eye, because she's a celebrity, because she is who she is. There was just so much scrutiny on her getting back with Ben. There was so much scrutiny on that relationship, and now there were even people saying that she's going to take him back to his addiction, the one he allegedly recovered from.
Okay.
And I'm going to say allegedly because I don't live there with him to know if he's fully recovered or not, but I heard he is, right?
Okay.
And I'm just saying, like, it just brings so much to light,
Hmm.
right, on the factors of discretion or even empathy, on the fact that they are humans, that many people are just human at the end of the day.
Right.
We had a discussion on New Year's Eve with my nephews about this Mexican singer. Her name is Angela Aguilar. For those who don't know, and I'm gonna give you a little tea on this. You could Google her,
Okay.
Angela Aguilar. Her daddy is like a known Mexican mariachi singer, right?
Okay.
And so I think she's a beautiful girl. But the scandal recently about this poor girl, and I'm gonna say poor girl,
Ooh,
okay?
okay.
Because apparently she was friends with this other singer, this male singer, and they had a little love thing when she was really, really young, and they weren't supposed to because she was really, really young.
Well,
Fast
wait.
forward, yeah,
Not that it matters. I'm following the story too. I don't know what's going on.
uh huh.
How young is really really young?
So apparently
Like
she was like
16? Okay.
15. Yeah, yeah. So apparently they couldn't be together, right?
Okay. Nasty.
Because especially with like Hispanic culture, like that's like, oh my god, right?
Right, right,
Like,
right.
right. Okay. So this man continues on his relationship with someone else, another
Oh.
singer in the Latino space, right? And he has a whole ass daughter with the singer, only to find out that he leaves this singer with her daughter to get with this girl now that she's an adult.
Oh.
Yes. Now here's the twist.
Okay.
This girl, Angela, who's now an adult, so now they could be together. The gag is that she was always their friend. And so people were saying
Ooh.
that she was always with him having an affair, pretending to be this girl's friend
Friend.
or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And all the scrutiny is on her. The reason why I bring that to the table is because, for one, again, where's the empathy and where's the discretion? This girl has been booed off stage. All the blame goes to her. Nobody's holding accountable the man. Okay. No one is.
Okay.
And the reason why I wanted to tie that in is because now we're looking at Remy and Papoose and how the allegations of infidelity are falling on Remy. And the one who held her down this whole time was Papoose. And so it could be a man or it could be a woman, but it could be either way. And
Right.
so I look at it as regular, degular, schmegular people. How we feeling about that? Like, how do we feel if we're caught in those type of triangles where we have people who are playing in our faces? Do we just take off the veil on this discretion and this empathy and say, fuck that shit? We're just taking the whole house down. Like, what are we doing in those instances? Because do I want everybody to know my business? Do I blow this shit up? Like, what am I doing?
So,
Mm-hmm.
glasses off. Really quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go.
When it comes to that, I am left eye. I am burning the motherfucking house down. I don't give a damn. Because if people are kind of trying to tell me that I am the cause or the culprit for something happening, I know for sure that I'm not. Oh yeah, babes. Once I get myself together and get my ducks in a row, no pun intended, I'm letting the shit fly. And wherever it falls, baby, is where it may. Because
Yeah.
again, it's my experience, but you're not about to drag me through the mud like I'm some damn pig and I ain't do nothing. It was him
Right.
first. Or like 2 wrongs don't make it right, but 3 lefts.
Ooh.
I'm burning it down. Like I said to that man, if we ever do decide to get back together or get married and he do some stupid shit, I'm writing a book and I'm getting a lifetime movie deal, baby. I'm telling it all the secrets, all the yeah. I am telling it. Now, while you here, I'm gonna protect you, but when we not connected in no kind of ways, financially, none of that shit, it's clipped, babes. Clipped.
That's it.
I'm done.
That's it. Absolutely. Okay, so let me say this. I'm with you on that because I am probably the most loving person. I will love y'all to death. Listen, but then once it's done, it's done. Like, I am your, what is it that Kelly Rowland said? It's like you don't even exist to me. Like,
Poof, be going, babes.
that's it. And unfortunately, I am still that person. I am 400-day hiatus or not. I am still that person.
400 days?
Yes, I counted.
It was that long?
It was that long.
It didn't-
400-day hiatus.
It doesn't seem like that. Well, because I talk. Well, I'm sorry. We're friends.
We're
so
friends,
We
right?
talk.
But here's the thing. Thinking of empathy and discretion, I needed that hiatus. I needed
Yeah.
to totally just like break up a little bit with this relationship with the podcast. I needed to totally like keep to myself. And
Yeah.
and now is when I feel comfortable with the sharing what
right.
happened.
Right.
You know?
Mhm.
And I'm okay with that. And it's gonna keep coming up.
I can't
It's
see.
gonna keep oh
Sorry.
child. It's okay. he's making sure he's seeing all of it. That's what he's making sure. He's about to read me.
No. I just can't see. I'm just getting blurry. Like, I can't see. Okay. Where's my glasses? Can't see what
Oh my God. Speaking of, how about the other day I put on contacts? I put on the same contact in each eye when it should have been 2 different measurements.
Oh, no.
Listen, the way I kept going like this, I said, what is going on? I don't understand. These contacts don't work no more. And then I realized I fucked up.
Cause I'm looking, I'm like, why is it blurry? Take your glasses off, bitch. Pay attention.
When I was blurry.
Yeah, I'm crying. This is so
I couldn't see shit at all. This is definitely something I've been wanting to tackle because I'm getting a lot more wiser. I'm getting older. And I do think that, with the whole new concept of a new level of maturity and confidence and love, I do think that while I don't incriminate, I do want to be a bit more cautious moving forward with wherever life takes me, with any type of relationships, being family, friends, lovers, what have you, and being cautious of not so much the what I share, but mostly the how I share it.
Exactly.
Okay. I think that's what comes into play here, right? Does it have to be on social media? Does it have to be with a whole book? Although I always say I will write a book someday.
You should.
A real book. Because I got more than enough tea to write a book. It just puts me to think a little bit on what we're seeing and just realizing that at the end of the day, these are people.
Right.
They're human.
Right.
I think back a little bit on the human I'm raising right now, and he's a very reserved young man.
Mm-hmm.
He don't like his business out there. He don't like too much. Okay, so I have a confession. Okay. Let me share this a little bit. My kid is 17. He's gonna be 18 in March.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows this because I had a conversation with him. He's the type of young man that will like take pictures angle down with like his sweatpants.
Understood.
If he's in the gym, he was like, "Ma, like this is I don't gotta show everything. Like this is where I'm at, and not if I give it to you today." And I'm like, "Okay, fine, cool, no problem."
It's like not too much, but it's like Goldilocks. It's like just right. It's like it's like not a lot, but just a little bit, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the just right. I've been binge watching Sex and the City, the show, and there was definitely an episode where Samantha is talking about how she encountered this man who's way too big. And so Carrie's like, well, you didn't like James because he was way too small. She's like, well, I don't want it too small and I don't want it too big. I'm just like Goldilocks. I want it just right.
Same.
But
I don't really know what. Never mind.
Yes. All right. So we're going to lead it.
See, we're being very mindful.
Very, very mindful. I just, Court's gonna come back, I promise, and that was gonna be more wild than this one. But yeah, today this is what it's given.
Because I want to really say what I want to say, but I feel like we're trying to grow and evolve.
Yeah. So I'm a very curvy plus size woman, so I'm gonna need substance. But okay, so here's the thing: in a very
substance is wild,
bitch.
But I understand.
I am. And even in my journey of losing weight, even when I did lose the weight, certain areas did not go down, ladies and gentlemen. They were just there. And so I need substance. So here's the thing. I know this took a little bit of a tangent, but it didn't. And let me explain why. Because a lot of the times with a lot of these relationships, people think that there's a demise because of just sex or because of, the intimacy and the type of chemistry, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's discuss a little bit more and let's keep it. Now we're gonna keep it all the way raw before we get into the as raw as it gets. Fuck that. Okay. They say size doesn't matter. I could say this: what I've learned with time and with my wisdom, size does not matter, right? It matters to me though when the energy doesn't match. I, as a woman, can only speak on that. I'm sure there are men who date women who can speak on what it looks like to them, right? If I'm a woman who presents herself as a boss-ass bitch, who's the boss? Yes, I'm gonna be like that in the bedroom. You get what I'm saying? Like, how are you presenting yourself? Or say how you want to be presented and how you want to be treated at the same time.
Well, with that, you can present a certain way and then not be a certain way. I think that's what you're kind of saying. So it's like you're showing this. Well, for me, it's like you're acting this way, but then when it comes to that, it's like, what happens to the confidence? Is it me? because
Mm-hmm.
somebody has told me that I am very what's the word, intimidating in that way, where it's like, because I freely speak about what I went, how I went, da 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 da,
Oh.
it comes off as like, whoa, like, and again, I'm just thinking from how it was said to me, it comes off as like super duper experience. Like I've done and I have done a bunch of shit.
Oh.
But it's like, well, wait a minute, I don't know if you, it's not wrong, but
Uh-huh.
it's not to make you feel like you can't rise to the occasion. All puns intended.
All puns intended. So, since we're talking about rising to the occasion, are we saying that in some cases people don't really show their true colors? Are we saying that people are not really being who they truly are? Because let's take it all the way back to how we started this segment of keeping it real. Is it that Allison all of a sudden showed her true colors? And not that we know if that has anything to do with sex, but fuck. Like Andy A's at a funeral, you keeping his family away from the kids, like you all of a sudden airing out dirty secrets. Like everybody's very surprised and pissed.
But who knows what happened in their household? Maybe that was his wish. Like in my
Mm.
demise, because I know when I was dating that man, we've had talks like, hey, if I die, if I go before you, I don't want my family to have nothing to do with nothing. They going, this is what we doing, leave these niggas out. So literally, that could have been his one of his wishes when in his demise, and we don't know what the dynamic was. Everybody wants to be filming when I'm gone, but where were you when I was struggling or when I wasn't feeling my best? Where was I able to call you when I was like? We don't know all these things, and this was his wife, the person that he chose and he had kids with. It wasn't like he was his baby mom and they were just like beefing.
No,
No,
they had a whole it was
yeah.
a marriage. Remy and Papoose, what do you think fell through there?
Oh, so right then and there, I don't know, but so okay, let's since we're talking, I don't like the relationship is now the business type of thing, because as soon as that thing, well, if it does die or something happens, it becomes difficult to maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a bunch of situations personally that we know, like firsthand, close hand, whatever case may be,
Yes.
where once that dies, people are now looking like, okay, well, we see him doing this, we see you doing this, and it's always the blame for some reason. The woman or whatever party doesn't have as much influence as the other.
Right.
So it always falls on that person. But to me, that whole thing doesn't work, because once the relationship is on bad terms or it doesn't work anymore, now everybody's they got to blame somebody. Somebody has
Mm.
to be the bad guy. And it's like, if you don't have as much following, or as it appears to be, you don't have as much money, or you're doing X, Y, and Z. It's like, oh, she's doing X, Y, and Z because she wants to get revenge. And it's like, no, this nigga was actually a horrible person, and I'm telling my truth. So it's just, I don't like. You will never see me on the pod with somebody. They might be a guest, but a full on show, baby, it ain't happening, because baby, the show must go on, and I can't do it. So once the relationship kind of dissolves, and I feel like with them, they were black love. That was their whole entire brand. When she got out of jail, it was cute. They were on TV. It was just, everything was that. And Remy, no shade, we never got an album, sis.
Ooh,
We never got an album
talk about it.
because the relationship became the business, and that was the focus. So now we had to have a baby, we got to have a wedding special. Everything else took a back seat. Yeah, they were rappers, but nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah, yeah. It lost its touch.
No, like, who? Nobody. We cared more about their love than their music. And
Yeah,
Papoose never popped. No, love him, but he never popped off. Like, he never
yeah.
got his just due. He did a remix on "Touch It" with Busta Rhymes in them. That was
Mm-hmm.
his claim to fame, babe. Nobody else knows
Mm-hmm.
nothing else. Name a Papoose song. You
Crickets.
can't do it.
Mm-mm. Sorry, and I love him. I
And the
do.
only thing we know about Remy is lean back and conceited, and that's about it, baby. We don't give a fuck about nothing else.
I'm not really even feeling the latest ones. I mean, I like them a little bit, but not really. I feel like she's losing her touch too. Respectfully, you know. I don't know my opinion. I love her, but it's not giving at the moment.
It, but that's just what it was. But the relationship kind of their thing kind of carried them. It carried their 15 minutes of fame longer than it needed to be, and this loved them. But their
Mm-hmm.
relationship kind of carried who they were to the people, and once that kind of
Yeah,
fell, we kind of lost interest. Like, who they're dating now, we don't give a fuck about. It's
at
like,
all.
I'm okay. Clarissa, she nice, she a boxer, cool.
Cool.
Didn't see the
That's
movie.
about it.
Didn't see the movie.
That's about
Cool.
it.
This little rapper nigga that she dating, Remy Ma, he look like an off-brand papoose. Cool. I don't give a damn about nothing, baby. I'm like, wrap it up, pack it up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't
I
care.
get it. I get it. Do you think that a lot of this is the result of people being in denial? And there's definitely a reason why I'm bringing this shit up. But do you think it has anything to do with people being in denial because people have been together for so long, or because there is just a story to tell? They don't want to face their truths in real time, in real life, to the point of Allison claiming that she didn't know what was going on and all of a sudden she does. I don't know if I really believe that. To the point of Remy Papoose, I feel like it was over a long time ago and they just kept going because of to tell the story.
Right.
I feel like for Jennifer, it's really all about her and really all about what she needs, and not so much about being. I'm sorry, it's not about her being in love or being with someone. I think it's all about her in the moment, and I feel like because people are so impressionable and they idolize so much, the real world thinks that this is normal. The real world thinks that this is just how life goes. Do you think that that's exactly what it is, or what exactly are we thinking?
Um. Well, my point of view is always sometimes on the left, sometimes on the right. It depends on the day. But normally, how I'm looking at it is because it's kind of embarrassing. So,
Oof.
in reference to J Lo, right? She once it was like known that she was back with Ben. We love you when we love you, and we hate you when we hate you.
Mhm.
She had a whole album
Yeah.
that was centered around the greatest love story ever or greatest love story, whatever the Amazon Prime stuff was. We watched it for the day and was like, girl, that's cute. No, nobody bought the album, but you were selling us you were selling us the relationship to
Yes.
buy into the album because
Mm.
it was giving nostalgia. Like people love a nostalgic vibe,
Mhm.
but we don't really care for, and this is just how I feel. I don't know if people listening feel the same way. We don't really care for new J-Lo music in 2025.
Not at all.
We stopped caring a long time ago. We love a little one. We love the old hits when
Yeah.
it was, cool, and when it was
Mhm.
sounding good on the radio, baby. It's times have changed.
Yeah.
So because
Or
they
stop singing.
just or just sing what we like. We don't need nothing
No.
new.
She has to stop. No.
We don't need we don't need nothing new, babe. We're good.
Yeah.
We love what we love, and that is it.
And that is it.
But because they sold us the relationship packaged into an album, or she did, it was a whole documentary around it, and X, Y, and Z, a movie. It was just it was too much.
Too much.
And once that, I feel like it's not a thing where it's like it is her, but she loves love. So it's like, okay, when I'm in love, music. When I'm in love,
Yeah.
movies. It's like, can you just
Yeah.
like you can do this, go away from that? But that's her thing, and it comes off sometimes as like once you give it to the public, it has to be perfect every step, every which way. So now you got to do
Mhm.
interviews, and you mention interviews with your husband and your kids, and it's like, what if you just kept it to yourself?
Yeah.
Because it's about you and this person. We don't need to know that he drinks coffee at 5 a.m. every morning. That's not nothing that we need to know about. We don't. Did he tell you to say that? Because we never heard Ben speak. We never heard he was, and then when we seen him outside, he was looking miserable. Like, bitch, I'm tired of this bitch. What's going on?
Yeah.
Because you keep telling our business every other day. It's like I didn't sign up for that. Like I'm just trying to be. He's getting old. He wasn't trying to be out here living it up. Like maybe he was trying to sit in the house and chill. She's dragging him out the carpets, fixing her dress. No, get your assistant to do that, baby. I'm not your handler. I'm your husband.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
feel like when the lines are blurred, it kind of just gets a little bit sticky. But then with Allison, like it's hard to say because sometimes when you're with somebody, you might take a blind, like stuff, but you don't really know.
Oh.
Like there are things like we all have this thing where it's like, wait a minute, this looks like this, but maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it's not that.
You
But
mean
then
like even in a marriage?
no day,
Oh.
no day,
Really?
for
Well,
sure,
you know what?
for
Yeah.
sure. Because think about it, we you can decide to be with somebody whether it's relationship or marriage, right? But you only know what they allow you to know. The things that you know about a person, they either told you flat out or you did some digging.
I always do digging.
Right. So, because nobody's going to be like, guess what I did? Like,
Fuck
no.
that. I'll admit it. If I'm remotely talking to you or you remotely, I'm going to do a background check. Like, you got nothing. Oof, no idea.
Right. But a person won't, because people are trying to protect their interests. If I tell you the truth, this could pretty much fuck up what you're going to look at me in a different light.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you a version of the truth or omit what I should be telling you. But most people, I'm just going to say, pick my experience. That person was afraid of how I will react to his truth. So he will always spin it and like, oh, this is what it is. So I'm all right, cool. If I haven't seen you physically do it, I can't just be like, oh yeah, because now I'm accusing you. But until I know what I know, then I can't unknow it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think it's tricky, again, going back to the social media stuff, the fact that we have worlds like that where it's a lot easier to find things out, because before we didn't have social media, we didn't have posts, we didn't have all these pictures on the phones and videos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you would have to rely on someone saying, "Oh, I saw them on such and such street," right? I think today, you would think it would be a lot harder to hide things. You would think it'll be a lot more difficult, and yet we still hear the crazy stories of a husband or a wife even just having complete double or triple lives in some cases.
Yes.
And that could be cause of infidelity or cause of other type of dark secrets,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess you're right. I mean, I guess for me it's, I am one that goes to look for things, and the reason why I go to look for things, and I'll elaborate on this on the last segment. It's because I don't like to have my time wasted. I don't like to play games. I say this to anybody who encounters me.
Right.
I don't. So let's save each other the issue, and let's save each other the trouble. Because I am a masochist, sometimes I'll still test the water a second or a third time because
For,
I am that person. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I am.
for sure.
It's also sometimes has a lot to do with pride, right? Like, nah, this has to be a demise when I say so. Like,
Right.
it's giving that. But I do feel a lot of the time that, you know, it, better safe than sorry.
Right.
I do want to know. So interesting the way we just navigated this conversation.
Yeah, but hey, it's the truth. I feel like if you say you love me, you should arm me with the truth.
Ooh.
I shouldn't have to go digging. Like I shouldn't have to ask for something.
Till death do you part.
Listen, you should, because then I know how to protect you.
So if we should honor with the truth, then is all of this really TMI, or are they speaking their truth?
it's both. Because it is your truth, but you can, the way like you said earlier in the conversation, it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Yeah.
Because technically you're kind of just taking off the veil and saying, hey, this is what's happening, or this was my experience. But people are going to sensationalize whatever you say.
Yeah.
I can say tomorrow anything and be like, oh, this is what happened. And it's like, actually, no. You get them? So because we don't really know what's in the book or what's happened with Remy and Papoose, we're just speculating and assuming, which then makes an ass out of everybody because we don't know the ins and outs. We're just saying, oh, she did this, she did that. We don't know who cheated first. All we just know is what they're showing us, and everything you believe half of what you see and half of what you hear and make your own conclusion, babes.
Yeah. The other thought that I want to end this segment with, and I say this very respectfully but also disrespectfully, mind your fucking business. It's not for us to be knowing or to be involved in. We not the third party sleeping with them or all up in that relationship. We don't really know, right?
You don't. But if you put it out there,
it is everybody's business.
Yeah. I mean, if you kept it to yourself and it's told your friends, like when we talked on the phone, it wasn't like, let me tell you what D said. No, it was like, okay, girl. Vote.
For the record. I just want to give this shout out real quick. If I tell Courtney, Rima is allowed to know, okay? Because
okay. Well,
I'm just saying, always. Because
I was like, girl, I don't know if you really was it, but
please, I don't care.
I know you don't care, but until I get verbal confirmation.
This is public verbal consent on episode 137. Whatever the fuck I said, she knows. That's it. Okay, because I said it. I said it. Okay. I'm just saying.
No,
we're gonna go. as we're gonna go, and with that note, we're gonna go right into the second segment. As raw as it gets is coming back.
Love
We're gonna
it.
keep it, and this one is where we're going to dig a little deeper on this one. So, in the spirit of how conflicting things can be, I want to tie it into another concept that has been weighing heavy on me that we definitely talked about on a personal note, and we talked about, are people, are we falling in love or falling into tolerance? Because for relationships to last, all types of relationships, okay, it's giving those friendships of 20 something years that it's just that one friend that is like, oh, we're the person who understands her or him, right? I feel like sometimes I'm that friend that sometimes people are like, here goes Daisy saying some out of pocket shit, but we love her, we just know her, that's it, right? You know, or if it's with lovers or whomever, like, the concept of falling in love is something that I feel like not everybody understands anymore because we're living in a different time now, right?
Hmm.
So is it that we are falling in love with people, or is it that we're falling into tolerance, or falling maybe even into acceptance, or settling for what is being offered? What are we thinking when it comes to that?
Oh, so that's again tricky because it all depends. It might be a little bit of both
Mhm.
because you can fall in love with somebody
Mhm.
and then it's like, okay, tolerance. Because technically, if we follow the 80-20 rule, and if you guys don't know what that is, we are living a human experience on a floating rock in the sky, in the universe, pretty much.
Oof.
So before this person got to you, they had a whole life. I'll be
Yeah.
35 later on this year in March. So before I got with whoever I'm going to be with in my next stage of life, I had
Mhm.
35 years of living and experiences.
Yeah.
So if I meet this person and like they're going to be my person, they might have 80% of what I need, not what I
Mhm.
want, what I need.
Mhm.
20% might be some bullshit like this nigga snore. He don't he don't put the tallest. Like it's certain annoyances that might bother you about a person. But then what people are doing is because they're lacking that 20% and saying fuck the 80, they're gonna go look for that 20% elsewhere. And then the grass is not always greener on the other side because of
Oof.
that. Because you're looking for what this person is lacking and not what they are. So
Mhm.
you gotta focus. You
Mhm.
gotta focus on where people are, meet them where they're at. Because technically, if somebody pulls a mirror up to you and says, "Hey, you do this too," you be like, "Damn, that's me," because
Yeah.
we don't experience ourselves. I know. I ain't the now. Listen, I'm a great friend. Now, in relationship or relationships, I could be a little difficult. I ain't I'm a little rough at
Uh-huh.
times, but it's because of my experiences. And like you
Yeah.
said earlier, don't waste my motherfucking time.
Mm.
So I feel like it's both because you can fall in love, but because I love you, I'm not going to like you all the time. But if I treat you with love and respect, then that should carry us through. But if I'm like not having the conversations of like, okay, well, how do we navigate when I don't like you? Do you want
Mhm.
me to how do I navigate that? If I don't know, we're not talking about this before we get into a marriage because stuff is not going to be rainbows and gumdrops every fucking day.
Right. You said something so pivotal just now because I'm very big on it. And I discovered this recently about myself. I tie in the love I have for a person or the love I feel towards a person, and I demonstrate it with caring for them, but I tie it into heavily to the level of respect I have for them.
Exactly.
And I was not always like that. Again, a whole new level of maturity,
And
confidence, and love.
transparency.
Okay.
Hmm.
I recently discovered this. Like, if 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 when I respect someone, they're up here. They're up here, and I care about that level of respect, and I care about that person I respect. And then if at any point I the respect is lost, if at any point I'm feeling disrespected, if at any point we've lost respect, that's it. Love is gone. That's it. The care is gone. And I listen. I had to like face this reality because
No, for sure.
I was so conflicted, and we're going to talk about conflict in a little bit.
Hello.
I was so conflicted with what I was dealing with, like, and I'm realizing, and when I say love, let me be clear. This is not about, oh my God, I'm getting married. No, no, no. I mean like genuine love for people,
Yeah.
right? For the type of relationships and relationships we're having here, right? You know, I. I've been conflicted trying to figure out like why do I react this way to a situation, or why do I perceive things this way, or why am I receiving it in such a way, right? Is it what they said, or is it how they said it, how they did it, not what they did but how they did it, right? What was it? And I realize I'm in a space now where I tie in to the love I have for a person and the way I'm able to accept them, and I know for sure I'm showing it in my ways of caring for them, but it ties into the respect.
Right.
And the reason why I say that is because I think when you have respect, it makes it easier to tolerate that person,
Exactly.
even on the days you don't like them very much, even on the
Mm-hmm.
days y'all are disagreement and you're not really talking,
Yes.
even on the days when you're completely upset with them because you had a falling out and something happened, but you're still willing to tolerate who this person is, perfect
Mm-hmm.
or not, right? Imperfections and all, with all their flaws, because you respect them. There's still a
Right.
sense of respect there, so you care for them. I didn't realize that until recently. And so
Okay.
now it's me figuring out, well, fuck, there goes the idea of falling in love. Is it that I need to fall into tolerance with someone? Because they're not going to be fucking perfect. And every person I've met, I've identified several multitude of things that I can't fucking stand for the life of me. Okay. I keep telling myself and having to pep talk myself and say, don't stab this motherfucker, because I feel like I want to stab them or curse them the fuck out.
For sure. But is that the 20%, or is it the 80 that we're looking at? Like those little annoyances?
It's the 20%.
Exactly. But so
Yeah.
when you focus on, so I feel like with the tolerance and the love thing, it's like, does this person have my best interest at heart, even when I'm being a
Oof.
monster? Because my friends, like you, everybody, you guys get me in a form that my person does not. Like,
Right.
I am a super friend. I'm near, I'm X, Y, and Z. It is what it is. But my person, they see me through all of my crazy. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't show, like, you guys see it, but it's because it's not coming until like you guys are the problem. But when you're mad at like your person, it's like, I am a monster at times. And it's like,
Mm.
ooh, maybe I probably shouldn't have said it like that, but I meant what the fuck I said.
Hello.
And it's like, ooh, wait a minute, did I treat you like, am I treating you how I want to be treated? And at times when you're in love with a person, it's giving, like I said earlier, people are showing they're giving you a mirror, like they're showing you. It's very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
As you
Mm-hmm.
would say on the show, we gotta get uncomfortable to get comfortable, babes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
when you don't do that, when you don't have a good sense of self, and you're looking for yourself in other people because you may have issues, first of all, get a therapist, bitch. But on the flip side of that, it's like, what are you chasing, or what are you looking for that you don't feel complete within yourself? Because
Yeah.
how do I show up as a partner if I don't know myself?
Mm-hmm.
What are your triggers? What are your things? But I always have to treat you. If I say I love you, I'm supposed to have your best interest at heart, even when you are treating me like an asshole, because you are a person. You're going to have your own feelings, we all have our own experiences. So when I come to you with a problem, do you dismiss it? What is the problem? And then it's like, okay, did I feel that way because I dealt with this in the past? Like, we're all just kind of going through like the Truman Show. Like, everything kind of
Yeah.
just feels like we're just doing like a recycle. It's like, okay, insert person here. How do I respond? And
Right.
we're just taking our past experience from the last Joker and trying not to relive the same show again.
Same circus.
Exactly.
Uh, I'm sorry. Like I'm gonna say what it is. With tolerance, does it come with understanding?
Ooh, it has to. I feel like it has to,
Mm.
but
Mm.
not to a point where you're limiting yourself. Because again, I don't know that bitch Grace, but because Grace, I don't know her, but I'm trying to embrace giving people grace. It's like, you fucked up, it's clipped, but sometimes
Mm.
we may fall short. I'm not
Uh-huh.
perfect. I feel like I am, but I know I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
like when somebody's telling you about yourself in a way that you're like, well, damn, like nobody told me that before, because people may have not been, they didn't have the balls to do so.
Yeah.
When somebody really loves you, they're going to tell you the hard truths, even
Whether you
though,
want to hear it or not, whether you want to accept it or not, whether you want to face it or not.
right. And it's not, as long as they're telling you in a way that is receptive to you, or they're saying like, "Hey, how you talking to me? I don't like that." Whoa, what you mean? Do you want to? You when somebody told me, I said, "What you mean? I'm talking to you," but I'm not experiencing me on the other end. I'm just knowing how I'm talking. I speak with a very matter of fact type of tone, and when I'm pissed, it's giving.
Oh.
And it's like, whoa, don't do that to me. And it's like, fuck you, me. I've been doing this for so long. That don't mean it's right.
Uh-huh.
Because if he did it to me, it'd be like, we fighting. What's up? And it's like,
Yeah.
but wait, you did it to me. I can't do it to you. No, you can't.
No.
And that's not.
Right.
It's like, well, wait, that's not fair. And it's like, okay, well, do I want to be right? I want to be in a relationship. I can't be both.
Oh.
You're not always going to win every fight. So it's pretty much just giving. At the end of the day, do you want to win the battle, or do you want to lose the war? Pick
He
one.
said, "Do I want to be right or do I want to be in a relationship?"
You can't listen.
Court just read some of us for Phils.
I read me. Shit. I love being right. I love it.
I mean, so do I.
No, for sure.
Look, if there's one thing about Miss D, I love. Matter of fact, I love it more when someone can prove me wrong, but I really love it.
And you love a receipt, a
All day, every
screenshot,
day.
a
All day, every
timestamp,
day.
an email. It's like, oh, you said what? No,
All
back
day.
in December 25th on Christmas Day,
Yeah.
you told me this at 8:00. I'm like,
And
wait.
let me tell y'all something. let me tell you something in my Cardi B voice. Let me tell you something. If anybody thinks, whether I am drunk or sober, that I will not remember what you said or did when you were drunk or sober, you got it twisted. I'm going to remember where we were, what you were wearing, what I was wearing, which way the chair was facing, what purse was at what angle, who was standing where. I'm going to remember all of it.
What song was playing? I was like,
all of it.
How do you know that?
All of it. It is scary, the things I remember, okay? But I'm a remember. And just know, I could say it word for word. I can. So just know that. In the spirit of falling into tolerance and how conflicting things can be, you sent me a link to a quiz that was very eye-opening. And I'm going to tell you the two reasons why it was eye-opening.
Okay.
So it was a quiz on identifying our conflict style. And so we had a discussion, again, we're friends, about love languages. And then we were like, well, what is our conflict language, right? Because conflict in itself can be in all types of relationships, right? It could be with all types of people. It could be even with ourselves, right? And I took this quiz, and ironically enough, I've already shared it on this platform that I'm going to start with a career coach, right? Because I feel like that's something that I need to kind of tackle on a lot of other aspects of my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting how I had to fill out some forms and answer some questions about me from a leadership standpoint on a professional point of view, but also a lot of the questions asked about my personal life.
Wow.
And so it's interesting, right? How here is a coach, here's someone who's going to help me navigate through my career, but it's so important to know about the personal life. And so now let's bring it to this quiz, this conflict quiz. And a lot of the questions is about when you think of the workplace, right?
Mm-hmm.
The workspace, but it's really about people and it's really about you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about it, just change the scenario or change the environment. It could be one day about the workplace, just like it could be about your relationship with the next person, right?
Exactly.
And so I got the results. The results are in. And we already shared our results, but I want to be able to talk about this because I was actually, pun intended, conflicted with this result. As much as it's the raw truth, I was conflicted. So I want to read what my results said, which happens to be Court's results.
Yes.
And you know what we're going to do? We're going to actually include the link in the show notes
of
this quiz.
Okay.
So if anybody's interested in taking it. And I hope that you can apply it, not just to your professional life, but also to your personal life.
Mm-hmm.
So our results were the way our conflict style is called collaborating. And it says your collaborative approach encourages an inclusive and participatory work environment by ensuring that everyone has a voice and actively seeking input from others. You create a sense of ownership and engagement within the team. However, it's important to remember to balance collaboration with leadership. Discover proven strategies to utilize your unique style and turn those tough talks into opportunities for understanding, collaboration, and building trust. Okay. I'm not going to highlight the event that they have, but it was interesting to hear about engaging, right? Finding the balance, right? Being a leader, but then also opportunities for understanding in difficult conversations, collaboration, and building trust. Because if I'm going to keep it all the way raw as it gets, that absolutely applies within my professional role, but also applies in my personal life because the way I am conflicted when I got to understand people and their fucking behaviors, and I'd be like, they testing me, bro. They're testing me. Like, why say this and then you do this? Like, but it takes understanding, right? It takes knowing how to have those difficult conversations and not just spazzing the fuck out because bitch could spaz the fuck out. Okay.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
What was your take on your collaborating results?
So I wasn't shocked, but
Okay.
I was annoyed.
Oh,
I said, "What the fuck you mean collaborating? I don't give a fuck about like." That's how I looked at it, and I was like, "Okay, let me read it," because I'm like, I took it 3 times.
oh,
Again, Goldilocks. I gotta make sure it's just right, baby. I
right.
gotta make sure, because I'm like, are y'all sure? Because there are other conflict
Now
styles.
you wait. Now you trying the porridge.
Listen, I have to taste it, babes. Gotta make sure it tastes good. Is too hot, too cold? Is it just right? If it's not, spit it out. Can't do it. Yucky.
Not yuck.
Pewy. I can't do it. So there are other conflict styles that are on this quiz. I think there might be. I'm not sure. Is it 4? So it's accommodating, avoidant, collaborating, competitive, compromising, and that's it. So how many did I just say? 5? Tequila. Hey, we don't know.
Hey.
But I think I said 5, maybe 4.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I thought it was going to be like something other than collaborating because it's like I think it can kind of change depending on the conflict. So I wish the quiz kind of gave a more like options where it's like, hey, you're this, but you could also be 50% this. It doesn't do that. But I feel like at times I can be compromising, but also competitive. Because
I can see competitive with you.
Because conflict doesn't have to mean like we're at odds. It just means that you have a difference of opinion than I do, and I'm trying to be right. So it's like my opinion is better than yours. So fuck it. But so I was a little surprised. But collaborating, I always want to know how the other side feels before I give my opinion, because you may see something from your point of view that I don't see. And it's this candle analogy that I always take from Megan Ashley. Shout out to her. She said it on the episode of KFS, but like on mostly on every candle, it has like a label, and it's only on one side. So if the candle is on a table, D, and you see the label, and you're like, "Court, it's a label right here." But from my point of view, I don't see a label. I'm like, "Fuck out of here, you're wrong." It doesn't make you wrong. It doesn't make me wrong. It's just our points of view are different. If I apply that to my relationships, I'm not trying to be right. I'm trying to be in a relationship. Because I'm not trying to prove you wrong. I'm just trying to get you to see, or are you open to see what I'm seeing? If you're not, it's not going to work. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, because we're not wrong. We just see things differently. And it's like, okay, well, you see it one way. I see it this way. It don't got to be my way or the highway, but it's literally this or that. But we can come together and say, okay, we see the differences here, but let's adopt our commonality here. Like, what do we have in common? Like, okay, it's a candle. It's on fire, nigga. We see the fire. Okay, great. It smells good. Yeah, me too. Okay, great. But the label or what you don't see is not. That's not a me problem. But we make it. We take on people's problems and be like, well, why they feel this? It's like, no, how they feel is how they feel. Can you love them through that, or are you going to be mad about because they don't think you see that label? What's the problem here? It's you. Here's the mirror. Here's the mirror once again, baby. And you got to like, damn, it's me. Yikes. And then how do I come to you and say, I was wrong? I hate being wrong. I
Oh, I
hate.
hate being wrong too.
It's
And I
like,
hate
ooh,
admitting that I'm wrong. And recently I've had to admit it. I've
no.
had to even apologize.
Oh, I want to throw up. Yikes. Me too. I'm like, what you mean I'm wrong? Because I'm all
He said, I'm going to throw up.
I
Yikes.
hate it. It's like wrong, me wrong. And again, that mindset when you're in relationship
Mm-hmm.
does not work. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, sometimes, somebody even told me recently, you in charge, but you ain't gotta act like it all the time. And it's like, well, because I am.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I know you are, but you ain't gotta act like it. Like let me it's like, well, I ain't never did that before.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no. And it's like, well, no, I can do it. And it's like, no, I don't want you to.
A gentleman that I was having a conversation with, I'm going to call him a gentleman because
Okay.
he's very much so a gentleman.
Love that.
And I was about to say some out of pocket shit, but maybe I shouldn't say it.
No, please don't. Tell me later.
Shout out to God for sending more than one gentleman with the same name. I'm just gonna say that. Anyway,
I love that. Well,
shout out.
what you gotta say now? Just really before you tell your story, just start using that man. People don't know.
But
Like,
which
oh,
one?
it doesn't matter. Just that man.
It
It could
doesn't
be.
matter.
It could be
Okay.
anybody. That man told me
Okay.
this.
That man. So that man, we were having a conversation and he was asking me like, you know, what is it that you need or whatever. We were having a whole discussion. And after I said several of the things that I said, right, about what is it that I need or what is it that I want, he said, you're so used to being the boss, you just want to be a little bit soft. You want to be treated with softness. And so lately I've been very big on getting in touch with my gentle side and getting in touch with my soft side because it's so ingrained in me to be the boss, to be so tough, to be that bitch that, I can't really be soft or I haven't been given the safe space to
To be
be
so.
entirely soft. And the fact that that man can sit there and identify that and say and call me out on it. I'm gonna say call me out on it
The
because
mirror. The mirror.
yeah, the mirror. I appreciate that wholeheartedly because even though, the conversation had its own journey,
Yes.
friend to friend, first and foremost, friend to friend, first and foremost,
Okay.
it was dope for him to call me out on that. It really
Yeah.
was. I want to say I'm also surprised with these results in the sense that while I could see where I'm very much so from the collaborative standpoint. I'm surprised because when I saw the other possible results, I remember being the person who was very much so accommodating and constantly compromising. And I didn't look at it from the angle of where my new level of maturity has shifted,
Yes.
that being in the collaborating standpoint is not such a bad thing because instead of me accommodating to the other person all the time, instead of me compromising myself to the other person all the time, I'm trying to be more of a participant in this, right? Now, if you can't meet me at the halfway point
Hello.
in this collaboration,
Hello.
then
Okay.
we're gonna have to end the collaborating project here because
Clip
it's
it.
not gonna work out, right? Clip it, right? So because before I would always just give, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so more so I see the collaborating stance being I'm saying what I want. I'm saying what I need as a person, as an individual, as whatever role it is that I'm fulfilling, right? And my hope in that is that the same way I am able to create the space of engaging with you
Yes.
and to create
Yes.
a safe space of understanding you and creating that trust, that you're going to do the same for me.
Exactly.
That is my hope, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I see it that when I talk all my shit about I want a partnership, I want a partnership with someone, fuck falling in love. Maybe I do want to fall into tolerance and I want this partnership with a person. That takes collaboration. That takes the meeting the 20% when there's only 80. That takes all of that because it's not always the 50-50 in a
It's it's
collaboration.
not.
Okay. And I kind of just really had it was like kind of like an aha moment, like, damn, I used to be that person. I was never the avoidant. I will say that. I'm problematic.
Oh
I don't
no.
avoid shit.
I love all the smoke. It's like, what we about to do? Do you want to fight? Like, what's up? Like, I'm with all the
Mm-hmm.
shits.
Mm-hmm.
However, like I mentioned before, because of my previous experiences, how did that
Mm-hmm.
shit work out?
Right.
You got to
Right.
look at it like, well, damn, if I did all of this and look, loving to be right, but
Yeah.
what were we collaborating or were we fighting?
Ooh.
So what were we doing? We were fighting. 'Cause I wanted to be
Uh-huh.
right, and sometimes
Uh-huh.
I was wrong, but because I'm so it's like you got it. Because listen, I'm just now coming to a new sense of awareness. Like, ooh, yeah, I think I took it a little too far. Like I drag it to hell. I don't give a damn. And it's like, ooh, wait,
Yeah.
can we be soft? It's like, well, you didn't put me in a soft space,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and I don't feel safe. But it's like, well, I did. You just wasn't paying attention to how I make a safe space for you. And it's like, oh shit,
Okay.
I gotta
What is
apologize.
oh now oh shit, I gotta apologize.
Cause you did that, but I wasn't. I was so caught up in my own. I didn't notice. My bad. I didn't have my glasses on. I was looking somewhere else, babe.
Let me tell you how I played some shit on semantics. I told someone in a moment of being
Mhm.
upset.
Okay.
I was like, "You won't be hearing from me."
Ooh. Ooh. I'm scared. What
And
what
then
what happened next? Some bullshit.
no, I'm laughing because I was talking mad shit, right?
Oh,
I was like, "You won't be hearing," because I was like so tight, right? And then came the tiptoes of the messages, right? And so I still was throwing in my pettiness, like, "Oh, you have a funny way of showing it," like, you know what I mean? And it was funny when a conversation had to happen, and it did happen. I was told, "Oh, you said I'm not going to hear from you ever again," and I was like, "I didn't say ever again. When I said what I said was," and and
Lied.
it was kind of like, "No, same shit," and I was
Yeah.
like, "No, it's not," it
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't say that word. But the point is, right? Speaking of understanding and how the other person received it, right? And
Exact.
so
Oh, come
I
on.
I was called out on that because as much as I was trying to play a little bit there and act like, oh well, that's not what I said. Truth is that is exactly what I was trying to say. 1,000%.
1,000%. Mm-hmm.
1,000%. And I still didn't stick to it because I'm a masochist, right?
Oh,
But
okay.
right, but that is what I was trying to say. And
Yes.
so I say that because um in the spirit of the maturity that I am trying to embody here, I just turned 39. And not that there's supposed to be a certain level of wisdom to come with that,
Okay.
but there is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that, can I be playing these games, certain amount of games that I was playing when I was 30 or when I was
Okay.
35, right? What I do know is that no matter what game I played then, and no matter what game I might be trying to play now, if
Okay.
that, I'm not going to waste anybody's time. And so I still want to make sure that that is clear for me, right? When I am communicating any type of love language or communicating any type of conflict style, just do not waste my time, right? And it puts into perspective just in which way I want to cultivate these relationships,
Yes.
and puts into perspective just the type of woman I'm trying to continue to grow into, right? Or the person even. And be it that person that is going to practice a lot more empathy to what my experiences have been, and a lot more discretion to what's going to come next, and
Yes.
and not necessarily the what I choose to share on this platform, but the how I'm choosing to share it, and with whom.
Okay.
Because if you have been in my life and you have a nickname of any kind and I've never incriminated you, just know Courtney knows everything, but Courtney is very discreet, and so Courtney is never going to put you out there. Just know that. Okay.
Listen, and if I happen to do so on a platform, my producer will bleep it out
Be
because I did mention a name on a recent episode. I think it was 172 or RCC, but
uh-huh.
Remo was like, I'm trying to stop you, and you keep going. I'm like, oh shit, I'm drinking wine. Sorry. So if I do
Yeah.
mention your name, I got you. It's gonna not going.
Yeah.
Nobody will know, but me and
Yeah.
Remo.
Love it, love it. But that's in the spirit of conflict style.
Yes,
We collaborate here.
love it.
And I just found it just very interesting to be able to tap into that. I think that has a lot to do, one, with the career development that I'm definitely trying to work on just
Yeah.
personally, but then also all other aspects of my life, like I said before. And this is something I shared in the previous two episodes that I've already released. Three episodes, I should say. I'm trying to put that cherry on top on all that this new look is for me, and what I'm trying to work on. I want to go into the last segment, and it's called the Make It a Double. And
Ooh.
with this one, I'm going to give a little disclaimer, if that's what we could call it. I always say I'm an expert of my experiences. If you've been here long enough, you know that that's what we discuss here.
Yes.
And if you know me, you know I say what I mean and I mean what I say. Okay. Now, since I'm ready to walk off this mic and close out this episode, like when we're about to leave the bar, we need that last shot and it's giving a double dose, right? And we're going to ask that bartender to make it a double. I would like, Cor, after all this conversation we've had today, okay,
Oh.
one thing you want to leave on this mic today, a word, a phrase of your wisdom, or someone else's quote, even. I know you already touched on Megan Ashley a little bit here and there,
Listen.
but anything at all that's just weighing so heavy here. And I want you to walk out of here living on this mic a lot lighter and calmer and leaving it
Okay.
here. So anything at all
Oh.
that you could think of, because I got something.
Now that's a little spicy for me. So I've been dealing with some situations that I'm
Shit.
trying to okay. I'm gonna watch how I say it, but
Okay.
what I'm about to say,
Oh.
I mean that shit.
Oh.
Okay. So I'm trying to be very because I want to say it, but I'm trying to be mindful. So I
I'm with
think
you.
it's, I guess after everything we discussed today,
Mm-hmm.
what I want to leave the people with or leave the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Watch how you talk to people.
Oh.
Because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. In the spirit of collaboration, we work together. Let's be clear. I have one boss. Her name is Carla Ramirez.
Oh, shout out to Carla.
Anybody else should not be telling me what to do, because I've been doing this for 4 years, babes. And those who don't know, don't do.
Oh.
Okay? Let's be clear. Know your place, know your spot. Because I am the lead producer.
That's right. Talk your shit.
Let's be clear. It doesn't matter what you think about me, my name, or what I talk about. But baby, when it comes to my job, I'm going to get the shit done.
Amen.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the motherfucking show.
You know, it's funny you say that, because I used to say in the previous episodes a long time ago, it's not just what you say, but it's how you say it. And then sometimes it's both. I used to say that, but wisdom has taken me in a different direction. Okay. And you know what? I think I'm definitely gonna make it a double, and I'm gonna add to this shit. Okay.
Very good. Pile on. I'm ready.
Let's follow. Let's collaborate.
Hello.
Okay? Let's collaborate.
Period.
Let's collaborate. Okay. No secret, I'm in a position now where I have a full team. And let me just say this. I love my team.
I love my team too. It wasn't about y'all.
I love my team.
I love my team. No, I'm saying.
But
I love my team.
But it's interesting because, you know, with the kikis and the joking, I kept saying today, I'm like, I get yelled at, I'm getting scolded at. Like, I was joking with them and they're just laughing. They're laughing. But it's interesting because I want to say that a lot of the time it takes the right people to teach that. Like you said, either you teach or you do, right? But it's like, what do we do? Because a lot of the time you can't do both. You don't know how to do it. Okay? It takes a very unique person to be able to do it and then teach it and then stand on it. Okay? Like, are you going to be consistent? Practice what you preach. Don't be that person who is not practicing what you're preaching. Don't be that person to not be a person of your word. Don't do that. People are watching. People are seeing. People are recognizing these things. Because people are watching, people are seeing, people are commenting and having opinions. For one, like I would say, mind your business. But if you're not going to mind your business, be very careful. Be very careful what opinions you giving and what shit you talking about other people.
Amen.
And the shit that they do.
Amen.
And what they're presenting. Be very careful what your assumption and your perception is.
Hello.
Okay? Because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Okay. You can easily say, "Oh, I'm so happy for her." And then you could also say, "Yeah, I guess I'm happy for her." Two different ways. Two different ways. Okay.
Okay.
One has a lot more hate than the other.
It's
Okay.
it's underlying,
Absolutely.
but it's still felt. All
Absolutely.
right.
People can feel. People can feel. You feel that energy. I know how to do my motherfucking job. I know how to run this show. I think I posted something this week, and because I said work is kicking my ass in the first week of the new year, and
Sames.
I think number 6 or 7 said, I put on my heels because I had to remind people, son, I run this shit. Like,
Listen, babes,
yes,
I'm the head in charge,
it's in
bitch.
charge.
I don't give a damn what you say, baby. I make this shit run.
Yes, yes, yes. And we got to embody that shit. We have to represent that if you want people who we call all our team to see that and to respect it.
And furthermore, respect my team.
Oh,
Respect my team. Like, not to step on anything, but my team does the damn things.
dang.
And without my team, there will be no things to be done.
Done. Oh, hello.
Let's be clear.
I like that.
And
I like
even
that.
when things are not looking on the up and up, we're going to make it right. But baby, don't talk out the side of your neck when you don't know how to do what we do.
I agree.
Okay?
I agree. In the spirit of collaboration, y'all.
Hello?
Understand, build trust, and respect. I can't.
Because,
No,
baby,
I had to add to that because I agree with you. It's interesting, and let that be something to sink into y'all. That right now we're talking about a team and the office and being a boss and who the bosses are, but then also apply that shit to your personal life.
no, for
Apply
sure.
that shit to your personal life because everything we talked about today, it could dip and dab into personal, professional, what have you. Apply it and understand it because I guarantee that if you do that, you're going to have some real discoveries about yourself and about some people that probably got no business for you to be collaborating with. I'm just saying.
Hello.
I'm just saying. That was a great thing you're leaving on the mic today.
Because, baby, it was on my shando, my spirit, baby.
Not the shando.
Listen, then on my
What's
soul.
That thing we said to? Do we say ashe? Is it ashe? Is that what we said? That's what we say, right? Listen, I respect. We respect.
It was deep down in my chakra, baby. I had to let it out.
Listen, I still have here because he said the chakra. I'm gonna show y'all what I still have here.
You got your Chris?
I bought a new one.
Let me see. Oh,
The throat chakra.
Well, we'll wait. Never mind.
Don't say it.
I'm not.
Don't say it. But I'm gonna have to light this bitch
up.
Yeah,
we're having a moment, so I'm not going to make it nasty.
I know. Mm-hmm. We're already past that part. We did. Well, on that note, guys, Courtney, this is a great conversation.
Listen, I love talking to you. It was, listen, we had to make this work. It was like, listen, we're going to do this. I'm always going to come on the mic. So thank you for having me on the rebrand, the new things. I love the new segments. I am a listener also a friend, but I listen to my girl. Yes. I'm so happy she's back. I gave her the kick in the ass to come back. So
He did.
Y'all should be thanking me.
Yes. Let's thank Courtney because I've had several people like, when are you coming back, sis? When are you coming back? We need that voice on the mic. And it's a long time coming. Misty then is still going to be your favorite host today, but just with new levels. And I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be here. Can you tell the listeners here, the new listeners, because I know we got new listeners.
Ooh.
Yes, because I saw them download.
Because when you were going, they were still going. I said, well, wait a minute.
They were. It was going.
Yes.
Can you tell them where they could find you? And also, let's give a shout out to the what is it? We producing another show, right?
Oh yes. So, well, speaking of that show, you can hear me and also see Brittany, or AKA Brett, on her show. If you know, the podcast with Brett. It comes out every Wednesday, audio wise, and on YouTube on Thursdays. But you can find me on Instagram at FT.Court with no G but 2 T's. And RCC Pod on Instagram with, me and Rima. And if you listen to the old episodes of Double Dose Raw Talk with Miss D, we've been on here together and separately. I think I've been on the show maybe this is
Twice.
my third time. I'll be so.
Yeah.
My brand of crazy is not for everybody, but it's fun. So if you like
Mhm.
that, our show comes out on Tuesdays. You might see a clip on RCC Pod where I'm talking about some wild stuff. But my mom and dad like the post, so as long as they support my brand of raggediness, it's
Yeah.
okay because my mom
Yeah.
and dad support it. So fuck everybody else.
That's right. That's right. That's called collaborating. That's what that's
Hello.
called.
And I will say, my dad did like the post you posted when we did our first episode together, I think, and he was like, "What was you showing on the screen?" I said, "Dad, it was blurred out, but we can talk about it later." And
Yeah.
he keeps bringing it up, so obviously it stuck with him because he wanted to
Oh
know
my
what it was, and
God.
I cannot show him that because that's my
Yeah.
dad,
Yeah.
and it's not. I don't know how we're going to
Mm.
talk about that, but my last reel on my page, it goes a little. He liked it, so I guess he knows that I'm no longer a virgin.
Okay. I mean, listen, it's okay. Listen, one day I will tell the story how my mama find out, but
Yeah, I was like, Dad, did you even watch? He said, I watched it. I said, why did you repost it? Because they not everybody in the family sees it now. They just know that So if you watched it, you go watch it, and you're gonna be like, Quirt, why would you say that? But it was real.
I love it. I love it. I love the support. It's giving collaboration still.
Yeah,
It really is.
they know they raised a whore, but not whore like in nasty, but whore like I be fucking. And
That's
it's
right.
okay.
And it's okay. And mind your business. What I said. Some of y'all need to know how to mind your business. That's what I said. It was great having you here. And I'm gonna just put it out there, and I know she's gonna hear this. The other half of RCC Pod will be coming on. She just don't know it yet, but she's gonna know it. But she's coming back. Okay.
I'll tell her.
And I'm planning my trip out to Philly because if y'all know this, I always go at least once a year to Philly.
That's what I'm saying. So if you listen to episode 172, we mentioned your trip to Philly, but I said a name. So just listen to that and then.
Okay.
It's in the beginning. It's in the beginning. I promise.
I have to catch up because work has been wildly busy, but I have to catch up. Okay, yes. So I'm going to catch up. All right. Well, guys, you already know how to reach your favorite host, Miss D. And this has been another week, another episode on Double Dose of Raw Talk Podcast. I am your host, Miss D, and you guys will tune in next week. Bye.
Bye. Oh, that was so much fun.